forgot that I had a point. Hierarchy of course. This is something which you need to understand before going ahead with it. Yeah, I have mentioned the Supreme Court. At the top it was Supreme Court protocol. We have to follow protocol as judges. We have to follow protocol and advice. Mentioned Supreme Court at the top, but I'll start from the bottom. So at the bottom, at the trial level, we have civil courts. On the civil side, we have civil courts, courts of civil judges. On the criminal side, we have what is called as judicial magistrate first class. Now, there are states where there are courts of judicial magistrate second class also, and in the past there were third class also. Okay, but now in Karnataka we have civil judges on the civil side at the trial level, courts of first provision, section 9 of CPC. On the criminal side, we have judicial magistrates first class. Judicial magistrate first class tries cases punishable with imprisonment up to 3 years. Then there is above a civil judge, there is a senior, on the civil side, a civil judge tries cases of a value of not more than rupees 5 lakhs. There is an amendment, but the amendment has been stayed by the Karnataka High Court. Till that matter is decided, the valuation of the case before the civil judge would be 5 lakhs. So above 5 lakhs it goes to a senior civil judge on the civil side. I'll complete the civil side hierarchy and then come to the criminal side. Alright. You have all studied this, but yeah, it was I told you, right? Destiny. So senior civil judge, above senior civil judge, there is district judge. And above district judge, there is High Court, and from High Court there is Supreme Court. This is the civil hierarchy. On the criminal side, there is JMFC at the bottom, and above JMFC there is a Chief Judicial Magistrate. He tries offences liable, punishable with imprisonment up to 7 years. And there is again district judge, sessions judge on the criminal side. And above sessions judge, High Court exercising the criminal jurisdiction. Above High Court, there is the Supreme Court exercising the criminal jurisdiction. So, becoming a judge, there are at different levels there are options for you to enter into judiciary. Again, I mentioned Supreme Court at the top, but I will start from the first origin, Court of First Origin. So, recruitment at the trial level happens for the post of civil judge. It is a direct recruitment. It is not like somebody is working in a court as a staff and from there he is promoted and becomes a civil judge. It is not like that. For civil judge, there is a direct recruitment. How does he get recruited? There are, as already all the speakers, especially Alva sir in his previous session has in detail mentioned, that there are exams. There is a preliminary exam which the candidate has to take up. After the preliminary exam, the candidate has to clear the main exams, which consists of 4 papers, translation paper and law paper 1 and 3, and thereafter there is an interview. And after that, there is also a small computer test. So this is the recruitment process for a civil judge. As sir has already mentioned, so straight out of the law college, law school, you can appear for this exam as of now, but there is a matter pending before the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court is going to decide as to whether there should be any minimum practice criteria for taking up civil judge exam. So till that is decided, the recruitment process started by the Gujarat High Court has been stayed, also by the Karnataka High Court has so moto kept the notification in abeyance. But as of now, till that matter is decided, a candidate right straight out of the law college or law school can take up this exam. District judges, there are 2 ways of becoming a district judge. One is direct recruitment. Direct recruitment eligibility is the candidate must have practiced for 7 years as an advocate. Enrolled as an advocate, practice as an advocate for 7 years. Can a civil judge who is already in service take up the direct recruitment district judge exam? Supreme Court has said no. Already in service civil judge cannot enter, cannot become a district judge by appearing for a direct recruitment examination. But for a civil judge to become district judge, the route is promotion. So first, one way is getting promoted as a senior civil judge, then over the period of time, based on experience, seniority, will become a district judge. Apart from promotion, there is another backgate entry, not the right word, but that will make sense because here what happens is, apart from this promotion route, the civil judge who has become a senior civil judge and has served for 5 years is given an option to appear for in-service departmental examination if he hears that he or she can become a district judge, something like leapfrogging. Okay, then for the High Court judges, there is no exam as his lordship was mentioning in the morning. So based on the standing of the bar, minimum 10 years of practice before the courts, based on the recommendation, there is direct delegation from the bar to the High Court. Similar is the case with the Supreme Court also. But a district judge, a civil judge, a district judge can also get promoted as a High Court judge. So these are the modes at different levels how one can enter into the judiciary. What does it mean to be a judge? Who is a judge? I think the oath of office that a judge takes soon after his appointment will best define as to what it means to be a judge. Now, everyone who becomes a civil judge or a district judge or gets elevated as a High Court judge or Supreme Court judge has to take oath, and these are the words, common words in all the oaths. Bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India and uphold the Constitution and the laws. So the first and foremost thing, what it means to be a judge is to bear allegiance and true faith to the Constitution of India. Recently, I attended a conference at Visakhapatnam where a former judge of the High Court, His Lordship Justice Kurian Joseph, was saying, if somebody says that I have decided or worked or performed as a judge true to my conscience, to the best of my conscience, it is not sufficient, it is not enough. He says, what is required is that one should work to the best of the conscience of the Constitution. So I as a judge may have, coming from different backgrounds, people may have different opinion about different things. They come from different cultures. But what the Constitution says, what the constitutional principles are, values are, those have to be adhered by a judge. So, what it means to be a judge, it means that one should bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India, perform duties duly and faithfully without fear or favor, affection or goodwill, and perform duties to the best of ability, knowledge, and judgment. How is working in the judiciary as a full-time career? A judge is a judge 24/7. His Lordship was also mentioning this in the morning. What does it mean? A judge is a judge 24/7. Can anybody? Yeah. So even when he is not working during the office hours, he has to perform his duties. That is what you are saying. Yes, absolutely right. That is one part. See, for a civil judge, it is like he or she comes to the court, hears the matters, goes back to the home in the evening, and it is not it does not end there. One has to carry the case files to the home office. See, one thing I'll tell you, when we become judges, we don't have homes as such. We call it as home office. For in all our correspondences, letters, and all our communications, we mention the place where we go after office, after finishing the court. The place where we go, we call it as home office, not just home. So it is because we are supposed to carry all the files, read them, prepare orders, judgments, and come back again next morning. Apart from that, for a magistrate, it is a tough job. For a magistrate, it is like there are police stations attached to the court. So if a person gets arrested, so you all know that an accused has a right to be produced before the magistrate within 24 hours of his arrest. So when does this police officer produce the accused before the court? Not only during the court hours. I have accused have been produced before me in my personal experience at 2 a.m. in the night, at 3 a.m. in the night. Okay, so this is how it is. At one point of time, it was so that I was working at a place and there were vacations. And vacation is not like we go just chill out anywhere. Right? It is not like that. During this vacation, we divide the vacation period. So let us say Alva sir and I are working at one particular place. So half of the days he will avail the vacation and the rest half I will avail. So when in his absence, I will be in charge of his work, and when I go, he will be in charge of my work. So it works that way. So it had so happened I was working in a particular district which was very big, huge district with many talukas. Alright. And half of the district was on vacation, and I was in charge for half of the district. About 5-6 talukas I was in charge, and it was like productions. From normal court work, and then in between these productions used to happen. And after finishing the work, when I start from home office, when I go there, I see inside the compound they are standing in a queue for productions. So sometimes the work is so heavy that this is the scenario. And night also it is like sleeping for some time, half an hour, and just waking up because somebody is ringing a bell to produce an accused. So sometimes it happens that way. And the other phase of being a judge 24/7 is that after finishing the court work, you cannot just go out and have party at the lookout. Because the people who are coming up here before you, everybody is watching you. You cannot just go to a nearby cafe and chill out. So it is not like that. So wherever you are going, outside the court also, basically your social life is kind of restricted. So you cannot behave or conduct yourself in a manner which is unbecoming of a judge. People say, oh, he's a judge, what is he doing here? I mean, he's going to work. No, we do not go to work. So this is kind of expectation that is there, which a judge has to keep up to the culture, the rules and regulations, the ethics, all those things have to be followed. So it is not only about inside the court, outside the court, the conduct outside the court also matters. That is why this phrase, a judge is a judge 24/7. Court timings, for the trial courts it is like we go sometimes at 9:30 or 10 and do our declarations and everything, and court hall work starts at 11 to 2:45, sorry, 11 to 2 to 2:45 with the lunch break, 2:45 to 5:45, again the afternoon session. So this is the normal court time fixed, but I'll tell you, all these people who are saying 70 hour week culture, 90 hour week culture will faint if they come and see what for the number of hours the judge is performing his duties. instructions. It is for a judge to keep updating his knowledge. Every now and then there is a new decision of the Supreme Court or the High Court. Now, earlier the source of case law was the reporters. Now we have online journals. We have these online websites like Live Law, Bar and Bench. And just giving an example, not endorsing any of these. Any of the websites, it is very difficult. See, I have to be very careful, otherwise let's say this judge was endorsing a particular website. So there are many such portals where you can access. As a judge, I have to update myself because in the courtroom when an argument is going on, if I say, Mr. Advocate, this is not the correct position of law, he says, Your Honor, yesterday Supreme Court has ruled. And I am lost. I have to be if I don't keep updating myself, I am totally at loss and everybody is watching. What kind of judge he doesn't know. So, that thing is there. One should keep updating one's knowledge. Right mindset should be there because it is going to be a huge roller coaster of the mind. Alright, stress, all those things. Challenging time during the court talk. Then again come back home and manage the family. Respect is huge. The judge has to. Basically, this is not restricting, but otherwise, what do you get? Otherwise, in the court only get all this stuff. So, respect. I'll tell you, one morning in my official quarters, home office, I woke up, came out. I wanted to collect the newspaper, so I came out, I opened the door and I see that near the gate, there is a man standing. He is taking out his footwear, moves aside and goes and does namaskar. He doesn't know who I am, I don't know who he is. But he knows that there is a fellow here doing who is a judge. So that is the respect you get from the people, from the society. Alright, and on the next day I opened the door and there was a snake on the door. So, don't ask me what does it mean. It is a unique career. It is not about money, it is not about employment. The other day we had Honorable Justice R.V. Ravindra, one of the greatest judges we had, former judge of the Supreme Court of India. Please read his articles, his book, Anomalies in Law and Justice Order. So, his lordship was saying in the academy that he was addressing the newly recruited civil judges. He said, his lordship said, if you are here for money, it is not a profession or career to make money. Please quit and go. I'll tell you all these things. It has been said that salaries were not better than now, salaries are better, 77,000. 840 is the starting pay for a civil judge. If you add DA and keeping all allowances aside, starting pay would be around 1,30,000 rupees for a civil judge. And all those allowances you add, it will cross over 1.5. Alright. But this is not what a judge is there for. I mean, if you think that the salary is attractive, that is why I should join, then this is not the profession for you. You should be ready for, you should completely dedicate yourself. You should forget that that is not what I strictly mean, but you should forget that you have a life apart from being a judge. So you have to be committed in that sense. You have that conviction. If you have that conviction, then this is a career for you. There are many things I can go on talking. So to keep have a set of navigation, I'll take you through Bangalore principles to understand as to what it means to be a judge. Before that, I just list out this statement. Judges do not have an easy job. They repeatedly do what rest of us seek to avoid, make decisions. They carry out this function in public. This is a statement, opening statement in the book of David Panic, who has written a very beautiful book about judges. The title of the book is Judges. In case you think that I will not read this book because I am not going to offer judicial service, then he has written a book also about advocates. So, in case you are interested in reading the law, you can read both books by David Panic. One is Advocate and one is Judge. So, making decisions is a difficult job. You agree? Even in small things, should I go for a coffee with him or not? Or should I try that person? Or should I go for a coffee with her or keep trying for the other person? See, simple matters. Should I have upma for breakfast or should I go to KFC? Who goes to KFC for breakfast? Okay, alright. So, even in simple matters, we are not able to make, it is difficult for us to decide. Imagine about a judge, he is deciding the destiny of a person. How does, now let's see, I am deciding this person, a court holds a person guilty of a crime. What does it mean? What does it mean if a person holds, if a court holds a person guilty of a crime? What does it mean? Here. I'm looking at you. You may be looking back sideways, but I'm looking at you. Yeah, punishment. Okay, alright. Punishment. What kind of punishment? Flogging? Stand up on the bench? All ticket not will not be issued. Okay, let us say it is theft. Imprisonment, yeah, I was looking for imprisonment. Thank you so much, you are a saver, lifesaver. For everybody, because I will go on till I get that word. Okay, imprisonment. What does it mean to imprison somebody? To take away his liberty, which is guaranteed under the Article 21 of the Constitution of India, which is a fundamental right. Justice H.R. Khanna wrote in that famous dissenting opinion in Indian Double Court that it is not the Constitution. A man or woman, as soon as he or she is born with this right of life and liberty. Constitution is only confirming it. So such right, you are taking away such right. So a judge is making a decision, holding a person guilty. Judge is taking away that right of the person which is inherent in him. And about which dissenting opinion New York Times wrote that if at all India will celebrate its democracy in future, a monument of Justice H.R. Khanna has to be erected. Something like that, not the exact words. So, whether should I have upma or idli? Whether should I take away his liberty? Okay, this is a very difficult decision, and judges are doing it every day. Sir, liberty for lunch. Okay, I'll quickly run through. Sir, I'll finish by 1:30. He's mentioning that about lunch and he's saying I'm not on lunch.
I'm not telling you to stop. Okay. Then now, or something like that.
So what is to be kept? How does a judge do all these decisions? How does he make these decisions? Another example I will tell you to impress upon you why it is difficult. Let us say a matter is decided today in a civil case. This is about a criminal case. Liberty is taken away and all those things. And this litigant comes to the court fighting for the property, and the matter is not decided today. Matter is not decided next year. Matter is not decided after 4 or 5 years. Okay, it goes on. Let us say after 5 years it is decided. Then there is appeal, and there is another appeal, second appeal, and till this whole litigation ends, he has become an old man. All right. Let us say he is a petty shop owner, and with that petty shop he is fighting for the property, and 20 years gone, he is still a petty shop owner. Let us say the matter is decided quickly, and it is decided in his favor rightly. He has that property, he has that economic strength. From petty shop owner, at least he will become a cafe owner. So his whole life will change. He will send his children to a better school. And his children will become doctors, engineers, lawyers. Right? So the making of decision is a very difficult job, and judges are doing it day in and day out, and they are doing it publicly. So how they are doing it, and what are they supposed to keep in mind while making these decisions? I'll run through the Bangalore principles, and we will close for the lunch, and then we will come back for analysis session, and then I will in the end give you some best practices which may help you to prepare for the exams in case you are going to take up the exams. What are these Bangalore principles? Bangalore principles are a set of principles. United Nations took up an exercise back in 2000, 2001, 2002, and ultimately they came out with a set of principles which are to guide a judicial officer in his or her conduct. Okay, independence. Judicial independence is a prerequisite to the rule of law and a fundamental guarantee of fair trial. Judge shall therefore uphold and exemplify judicial independence in both its individual and institutional aspects. So while I am deciding a case, I have to be independent. What does it mean? I think we don't have time for interaction. So it means that there should not be any extraneous influence on me. So whatever I am deciding. I am not asking Allah sir. Allah sir is a very he's a friend, guide and philosopher, but I can ask him, sir, what is this point of law? Please explain me. But ultimately the decision, what I am taking, it is going to be my decision. Not because anybody is saying or any politician is asking me, any senior is asking me to pass it. That is not how it is going to be. It has to be my decision. Okay, judge has to exercise the judicial function independently, free from extraneous influences. Independent in relation to society in general and parties to dispute. So, my old client is there before me as a plaintiff, and I am deciding the case. I am not independent. Alright. Free from inappropriate connections with and influenced by executive and legislative branches of government. Shall be independent of judicial colleagues. I gave an example. A judge shall exhibit and promote high standards of judicial conduct in order to reinforce public confidence in the judiciary. Yeah, but this is public, if they normally say, I am an insider in the judiciary, I should not say. I have heard people saying that among the three branches of the government, people have more faith in judiciary than other two wings of the government. It comes with a huge responsibility for a judge to decide cases. If the judge is not independently deciding, then he is cheating the Constitution. Both, remember. Alright, I'll just, to light up the moment, I'll just share a story with you. The confidence that the people have in judiciary, which a judge is not supposed to breach. Imagine a courtroom. If If you go to Mayhall Court, or if you have seen old building of Mayhall Court or some magistrate's court here, see there are pigeons and there are shelves in the courtrooms. They'll have kept pipes there. And these pigeons will come there, they make their nest there, lay eggs, and there are fledglings which become pigeons, and they repeat the process. Alright, this is going on. Imagine this is a court setup, and on the shelves there are pipes kept, pigeons. And every now and then this fellow comes, who had come to my threshold, who snake, and swallows. Like all of you are already hungry, the snake was also hungry. So he swallows the eggs and goes. So this keeps happening. Or eggs on the fledglings also. Once similarly, snake comes and swallows a fledgling of a pigeon. There are 2-3 small fledglings. It swallows and goes away. And this mother pigeon is crying. No, naturally, it is for the mother to be. Mother is continuously crying. Everybody says it is the mother. This is the nature. It is for her to cry. She will cry. 2-3 days she will keep quiet. 4-5 days are gone. This mother pigeon is still inconsolable. Alright, everybody is trying to console her, but nothing is happening. Then they call a meeting of the pigeons. All elders come, decide what to do. So they say, we will depute all these elders, they'll go speak to this mother pigeon, and they go and tell her, see my child, this has happened to all of us, right? This is how nature works. Food cycle, something. So, this is how it is going to be. Again, next time we will again lay eggs, again we will have eggs, don't worry. All those things, but no, nothing is helping here. And this mother pigeon is still unconsolable. They get fed up and they say, what should we say to console you? We have been trying to console you for 4-5 days and you are inconsolable. What is the matter with you? It has happened with all of us. Why are you so disturbed, so depressed? Why are you so devastated? So the mother pigeon says, if it had happened somewhere else, I wouldn't have mind. It has happened in the court. So the moral of the story is injustice. If it happens elsewhere, yes, injustice has to be prevented, but injustice should not happen in the court. Okay, otherwise it will be like the fence eating the grass. Alright, this is the kind of public trust that is there. A judge is supposed to judge is supposed to be impartial. Impartial as in, there are many things. Without favor, bias or prejudice. All decisions have to be on merit. There cannot be any, this plaintiff looks smarter than the defendant. Or the defendant looks more beautiful than the plaintiff. So I'll give a judgment in favor of the defendant. The defendant belongs to my caste or my religion or speaks my language. This is not the criteria. It is strictly in accordance with law for reasons. So a judge should not be impartial. So they should be impartial. Should cannot be biased or have any prejudice. Judge cannot have any economic interest in the outcome of the matter. So economic or any kind of interest. Okay, alright. Let us say if I decide the case in favor of the defendant company, its shares will go up, and I have about 1,000 shares in that company, so I will decide in favor of the defendant. Okay, so this is here, there is bias, alright, and it was being mentioned in the morning, it should not only be done for justice, it should not only be done, it should be seen to be done. Though I am deciding on merits, if I have any interest or I am profit in the outcome of the matter, then people will lose confidence. I'll share another story with you. Before memory fades, how many have you have read the book? One. Seen the book? Two. Okay, three. That's it. Okay. It is an autobiography by Pali. So he mentions about an instance where there are two judges, old days before independence, an English judge and an Indian judge. Both of them are sitting together, hearing an appeal. Okay, they are presiding over the bench. And when the matter comes up, when appeal comes up, the Indian judge tells the English judge that how dare this appellant, he had come to my house with a bag of potatoes yesterday. So the English judge says, what did you do? So the Indian judge says, I just sent him away. I just sent him away from there. You are not supposed to do this. How can I take potatoes from a person whose case I am going to decide tomorrow, or whose appeal I am going to hear tomorrow? So I sent him away. So the English judge says, brother, you shouldn't have done that. The potatoes were really sweet. Alright. So one of those days, and they decide, they hear the appeal, they dismiss the appeal on merits. One of those days, now we cannot afford to do that now in the present times. We have to do justice, and it should not only be done, it should be seen to be done. Integrity is very important. One has to be very honest. It is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles that you refuse to change. Come what may, I will not change. I will not deviate from the morals, the principles I have. Okay? It has a benefit, okay? I don't drink tea or coffee, okay? I don't drink. Anybody comes. I was some dignitaries say, once have it, nothing will happen. I said, no, I don't have. This morning also I said, I won't have. So I got tender coconut. So, sticking to principles, your principles have its own benefit. So here, integrity is very important for a judge. It should be, the conduct should be above reproach. Conduct of a judge must reaffirm to the people's faith. Justice must not only be merely be done, it should be seen to be done. Propriety refers to conformity to conventionally accepted standards of behavior or morals. A judge must accept personal restrictions that might be viewed as burdensome by an ordinary citizen and should do so freely and willingly. Okay, a judge should avoid situations that might reasonably give rise to suspicion or appearance of favoritism or partiality. A judge is working at a particular place. There are advocates appearing before the judge. So there is A judge who is appearing for the plaintiff, and there is B judge who is appearing for the defendant. And whenever this A judge calls me for any function at his home, I keep going there. And there are times that I am not able to, when B judge calls me, I am not able to go there. I don't want to deliberately not go there, but I am not able to go there. So what is the perception that people get? So he is friendly with A advocate and not B advocate. That doesn't mean that the judge should go to the advocate's house. I am just giving an example. Okay, normally the judge is not expected to go to advocate who are practicing before him and party with him. Alright. Avoid situations that might be shall not participate in the determination of a case in which any member of the judge family represents in the hearing. So let us imagine I become old and I have a son who's practicing in the same city and he's appearing before me. So this is not expected. These are things which take away the confidence of the court. Alright, so anything which takes away the confidence of the people is not supposed to do that. Okay, but I'm telling you all about restrictions, but there are freedoms also. Like I have come here, a judge can go and give lectures, bore all of you, like I am doing. participate in academic activities, write articles, and doing my doctoral program at CMR University. So such things are allowed appear at public hearing before an official duty as part of official body, as part of duty, serve as a member of an official body, form associations of judges, participate in that, have social programs within the community. Okay, engage in other activities, and such activities do not detract from the dignity attached to the office of the judge. A judge cannot practice law. Okay, morning session I'll sit as a judge, afternoon I'll go to Arthur's court and appear before him for a client. That is not permissible. Or in the evenings in Bangalore, I'm working in Bangalore, so evening I'm free, so I'll just take my car, register on Uber or Ola. I'll work as a taxi driver. That is not permissible. So the judge shall not permit his family member or his staff, knowingly or unknowingly, knowingly, to influence any matter pending before him. Okay, we should be very right, and we should not give an opportunity to the staff. We should not give such leeway to the staff that will say, oh, don't worry, judge is very close with me, I'll tell him that this defendant is very poor and plaintiff is a crooked man, I'll tell him and I'll have it. That scope should not be there at all. Judge is expected to keep such high standard. Equality, everybody has to be treated equally. Articles 14, 15, 16, all those things, revising your mind so that I can skip this slide. Competent and diligent, there has to be diligent. He should be always devoted to his duty. His judge's duty should take precedence over all other activities. All right, skills. What are the skills that a judge should possess? Socrates. There is no known source which directly attributes it to Socrates, but from a very long time we have been attributing the statement to Socrates. 4 things belong to a judge, says Socrates. To hear courteously, to answer wisely, to consider soberly, and to decide impartially. So these skills have to be adopted by a person who aspires to be a judge. Knowledge of procedural law is very important for a judge, because if you do not know the procedure, you are justice is the destination. The way is the procedure, and the vehicle in which you are going is the substantive law. Okay, all these things should be in place. I should be knowing how to ride this vehicle. I should be knowing the way with the help of Google navigation or otherwise, or Apple navigation. But I should be knowing the way. And I should reach the destination on time. All these things are important for a judge. Hearing with patience, we have talked about it a lot. Marshalling of facts and arriving at a proper conclusion. So all facts have to be taken into consideration. Judge should be able to grasp the matter and dispute, narrow it down to the pinpointed to trains in Bangalore. If you see, if a train which is filing runs into 40-50 pages. You have to frame issues, 3 or 4 issues that are there. You have to identify those 3 or 4 issues and decide on them. So that capacity that has to develop. Once some of you who aspire to become judges, appear for the exams and then pass and come to the academy, we will teach you how to marshal facts. So from now,